Hi, my name is James Hendricks, and I'm here today to talk about issue number 7. Recently in the news, people have been saying that it was thrown out by the Supreme Court, and I believe this is unjust and unconstitutional. I think that voters have rights in the state of Arkansas. We, the people of the state of Arkansas, have the right to vote on something that's already on the ballot. They threw it out based on a technicality that some of the signatures from the people who had signed on the petition were not legitimate, basically. And I encourage everybody to protest in every way possible. If you can, if you live near the Supreme Court of the state of Arkansas in Little Rock, I encourage you to go out there and protest, because this is unjust. And, there's no such thing as doing the wrong thing for the right reason, in my opinion. Also, I believe America is the land of the free and the home of the brave. You gotta be brave, and you gotta stand up for what's right. There are a lot of patients in hospitals that are suffering. Outside of hospitals, they're suffering and they're dying. And this medical cannabis has the potential to help a lot of people. For those of you who do not agree, I encourage you to go do your own research. Maybe go read a book or something instead of listening to everything that you hear and believing it the first time you hear it. I just think that's plain ignorant. You can go look at videos on YouTube about people who have used medical cannabis to treat their ailments. I'm not technically saying that you can treat diseases with cannabis, for the record, but I'm saying you can go on YouTube and see that for yourself. There is evidence of that. And if you think the kids are going to get a hold of it, they're already getting it from drug dealers. They're the same drug dealers that are dealing cocaine and meth. There is no justification for ignoring this. I'm speaking on behalf of the patients, all of the patients who have cancer, multiple sclerosis, that have any type of seizure disorder. There's a lot of potential for this growth in medicine. When you put a drug on Schedule 1, that means that you can't even legally research it without the federal government's permission. And let me rhetorically ask this question. Why is it legal in the District of Columbia? Why is marijuana legal in Washington, D.C. and none of the other states, yet it's scheduled on a federal basis as a Schedule 1 drug? That does not make sense to me. There is even a man that the federal government sends joints to because he has a bone spur disorder. He gets bone spurs all over his body, and it's out of control. And it seems like cannabis is the only treatment that actually works for him. You can do all of this research, and I strongly advise everybody that is against it to open your eyes a little bit and see what benefit it can do for the whole of society. It's not going to make you any dumber. It doesn't kill brain cells. And by golly, I don't even smoke it. But I think when you work in the medical field, or if you've worked in the medical field and you see all these people that are suffering, that could ease their pain and suffering with a plant that God made himself. You want to call it the devil's weed or whatever. I mean, that's like blasphemy as far as I'm concerned. And this goes to all of you ministers out there that are against medical marijuana. You are spreading lies. I encourage you to go read a book And if you want to continue to spread lies so that these sick people continue to suffer as badly as they are without the treatment that they need, then you're wrong. You're just plain wrong, and you should go read a book or educate yourself. Maybe you should go to college or something for a little while. Maybe so you won't appear like a fool in front of everybody else. So, like I say, do your best to stand out, speak out. I'd say contact your local congressman in the state of Arkansas. Call your local congressman and tell them how upset you are about this Supreme Court ruling, this Arkansas Supreme Court, because this not only involves an issue that's on the ballot, this or the rights of the people to use medical marijuana, but this also involves voters' rights. We have an issue that's already on the ballot, and they're taking it off but over some kind of dumb technicality that there are people of interest that want it off the ballot because they're making so much money busting people for using marijuana. If you knew somebody with cancer or HIV or any medical problem that was self-medicating with marijuana and they got arrested for using marijuana and went to jail and then had to go to trial and pay consequences for it, what would you say to that? That's why I'm standing up and saying I support issue number 7. More than 6, but I still support issue 6 on the fact of the matter that it's still based on medical issue, but issue number 7 opens up a more broad spectrum of treatments for illnesses for people who actually need it. And if there's people that don't need it and they get it anyway, I'm not really concerned because I've never heard of anybody smoking a joint and going home and beating their wives or their mothers or killing people. Most criminal activities, you can ask any police officer, are because someone is intoxicated off of alcohol. And most of the same Christian conservatives that think it's okay to have a drink every now and then, as long as you don't beat your wife or kill a kid in a car accident, think that smoking a joint will send you straight to hell. Well, I'm sorry, your thinking is backwards. You're a fool, and you need to go do some research, and you really need to go take a look in the mirror and say that to yourself in the mirror and see how much sense that makes, because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Thank you. I'm James Hendricks, and please like and follow, share. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. Just spread the word. That's all I encourage you to do. And protest. If you feel like you want to protest out front of the Supreme Court, go right ahead. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try to go out there as much as I can. As far as transportation goes, I have transportation, but I really don't like driving through Little Rock. But I encourage everybody that's already in Little Rock, go protest. Do not lay down and take this. Do not let the government walk all over you for what's not right. Stand up for what's right. Don't lay down and take it. That's all I got to say for today, and thank you.